Have you ever felt a chill crawl up your spine, as if unseen forces were lurking just beyond the veil of reality? Welcome to the enigmatic world of the Exorcism of Emily Rose, a narrative that delves into the depths of faith, fear, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. In a small town, lived a 19-year-old girl named Emily Rose. Little did she know that her normal life was about to be turned upside down and thrust her into a battle spanning both the physical and spiritual realms. For the Catholic Church had deemed Emily to be possessed, dragging her into a world where demons lurked in the shadows of her very soul. This real-life story, called The Exorcism of Emily Rose, goes back and forth in time to tell us about a trial. It's about a priest who is accused of not taking care of Emily properly during the exorcism. Emily died, and people think the priest is to blame. There's also a lawyer who decides to help the priest in court. The lawyer's name is Erin Brunner. She fights hard against both the church and the government. The priest, Father Richard Moore, did an exorcism on Emily Rose. Erin is not just fighting for the priest, she's also fighting her own feelings of loneliness. She thought her job would make her happy, but it hasn't. Erin takes on this case because she thinks winning will make her a top lawyer at her firm. But deep down, she's not sure. The priest only agrees to let Erin help him if she promises to tell Emily's story properly. The trial started with the prosecutor, Ethan Thomas, bringing in medical experts. One of them said Emily had epilepsy and psychosis. The defense argued that maybe she was possessed, but Erin Brunner, the lawyer, didn't say it directly at first. She explained that Emily was going through something beyond what doctors or psychologists could understand. Emily's family and Father Moore knew this and tried to help her differently. The story goes back to when it all began. Late one night in her dorm, Emily smelled something burning and saw strange things happening. Doors opened and closed by themselves, objects moved on their own, and she felt like something heavy was pressing down on her. It even felt like she was being choked and possessed for a moment. She wasn't sure if these were real or just in her head. She went through more of these scary experiences, ended up in the hospital, and got diagnosed with epilepsy. But the medicines didn't help. Her strange experiences continued, along with her body twisting in odd ways. Emily left college and went back to her parents. They all started believing she wasn't sick, but possessed by demons. They asked their local priest for an exorcism, and the church agreed. The prosecutor said that Emily's problems could be explained by a mix of epilepsy and psychosis. Meanwhile, strange things started happening to Brunner in her apartment. At 3 a.m., she would notice odd smells and sounds. Father Moore warned her that demons might be targeting her because she was getting close to exposing them. Later in the story, Father Moore explained that 3 a.m. is known as the witching hour, a time when evil spirits try to mock the Holy Trinity. It's the opposite of 3 p.m., which is believed to be the time Jesus died. Seeing that the prosecution was building a strong medical case, Brunner decided to show that Emily might have been possessed. She called in an anthropologist, Dr. Sadira Adani, to talk about how different cultures see spiritual possession. During the trial, a doctor named Graham Cartwright steps up. He was there during the exorcism and reveals that he has an audio recording of the ritual. The priest who performed the exorcism, Father Moore, is then called to testify. They play the tape, and suddenly, the movie takes us back to the exorcism itself. It's Halloween night, and Father Moore thinks it's a good time to confront the demons inside Emily. In the room are the priest, Emily's boyfriend Jason, and her father. Emily is tied to the bed as the priest starts using holy water and reciting ancient words. Emily starts speaking in different languages, even ones she shouldn't know. Cats from the family run in and attack the priest, causing chaos. Emily breaks free, jumps out the window, and runs into a nearby barn. They all follow her, but inside the barn, they face even more strange events. The demon inside Emily refuses to reveal its name at first, but then boasts that there are 6 of them, claiming to be infamous spirits, like those who possess Cain, Nero, and Judas Iscariot, as well as demons named Belial and Lucifer. Back in the courtroom, Father Moore explains that after this terrifying encounter, Emily refused another exorcism and stopped taking her medication. Sadly, she passed away a few weeks later. The prosecutor argues that Emily speaking in tongues could be explained by her Catholic education, where she might have learned ancient languages. The priest agrees that it's possible she learned these languages in school. Bruno wanted the doctor to testify in court, but he didn't show up. She went outside and found him on the street. He told her he couldn't testify anymore, but he did believe in demons. Before he could explain further, a car hit him, and he died. That same night, Bruno's boss told her she had messed up the trial. He warned her that if she called the priest back to testify again, she'd lose her job. But despite the warning, Bruno brought the priest back to court the next day. He read a letter that Emily wrote before she died. In the letter, Emily talked about another vision she had. She said she saw the Virgin Mary, who told her that even though the demons wouldn't leave her alone, she had the choice to leave her body and stop her suffering. The Virgin Mary also said that if Emily returned to her body, she would help prove to everyone that God and the devil are real. Emily chose to return. She ended the letter by saying, "People say that God is dead, but how can they think that if I show them the devil?" After this vision, Emily started showing signs of stigmata, marks on her body similar to what Jesus had. Father Moore believed this was a sign of God's love, but the prosecutor argued that Emily could have gotten those marks from a fence on her property. Father Moore is declared guilty in the end, but the jury suggests to the judge that he should only serve the time he's already spent in jail. Bruno's law firm offers her a big promotion for helping Father Moore, but she turns it down. Instead, she decides to leave her job. She joins Father Moore as they visit Emily's grave. He had placed a quote there that Emily had shared with him before she passed away. It's from a part of the Bible called Philippians, chapter 2, verse 12, and it says, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling."